I've covered a lot of scams over the years, but this product might just take the cake for being the most diabolical. It's an automatic litter box that is killing cats. It kind of stops being a litter box and becomes like a pseudo guillotine that executes some of the cats that use it. It is horrifying and heartbreaking. There's a YouTube channel called One Man 5 Cats that just posted an incredible breakdown going over how dangerous and deadly this device is. Those two adorable cats pictured there, Mochi and Charlie, are two of the who knows how many victims of this death trap. As a cat owner myself, the thought of this is really infuriating. And from what I can tell through looking it up, this automatic litter box is a very popular one. And it's being sold under numerous different brands. It keeps getting rebranded or repackaged and sold by a ton of different other companies. So it's not like it's coming from one place that you can always track down. Like, oh, this is, from Jerry Inc., designed to kill Tom and every other cat or anything. This is a bunch of different brands selling the same device with the same problem that can lead to your cat just being killed by it.
Which shared a video on TikTok from a lady called Carly J, who described how her automatic litter box killed her cat, a beautiful 1-year-old Siamese girl called Moshi.
Yesterday morning, we woke up, me and my 2-year-old daughter, and I went to find my cat, and she was hanging from her litter box. It had closed on her neck and her body was hanging out, and there was red stuff all over, like everywhere.
I'm guessing you can't say blood on TikTok, but the scene she's describing is consistent with reports from other cat owners that also lost their beloved pets to this machine as well. I just can't even imagine that. Even just hearing about it makes me angry. If I found that my cat Io had been killed by one of these, that would have me fully go John Wick. Like, I know I kind of look like a diet great value John Wick right now just by default, but that would have me fully go, like, unhinged with it.
She didn't say what machine it was, but she did clarify in the follow-up video that it wasn't an actual litter robot, but something she had bought off of Amazon. She didn't name it in this video either, but she did in the comments. Her videos started to go viral, but then just a few days after they were uploaded, they were gone. So I started to investigate. I needed to know if this was real and if potentially deadly machines were being sold.
It's not unusual for videos to be taken down either by the user or by a company looking to salvage their image if it paints them in a bad light. So One Man 5 Cats was paying attention, noticed the videos got taken down, and launched his own investigation to see if the claims were real. Or maybe it was all one big hoax by some rival litter box company trying to besmirch the good name of Amztoys.
I'd already found the one that she named on Amazon a few days earlier, sold under the brand Amztoy. Astonishingly, they even called it Litter Robot by Amztoy, using Whisker's Litter Robot font. This is absolutely not a litter robot, and it shows just how dodgy this company is.
This whole thing is fishy from top to bottom. This company itself is extraordinarily sketchy. So they're trying to pretend to be a more successful, more reputable company that sells the litter robot to confuse consumers. It's actual infringement. Like, this is fraud. At least in my opinion. I'm not an expert, but they are calling it the litter robot, which is already something that exists by a different company, and it's a completely different device. The litter robot by Amztoy is as much of a robot as me doing this. It doesn't really function the way it should because it shouldn't be fucking killing cats. You know what I mean? It's not the litter robot, it's the shitter robot. And Amztoy knows that. They are doing a classic knockoff. Like, this is something that you see in every industry. When something gets popular, you're going to see 1,000 different companies and brands take the exact same thing, even call it the exact same thing, even though it's not the real product, because it's hoping to confuse buyers into getting theirs instead of the real one. Usually they'll make it more appealing by making it cheaper, which is exactly what Amztoy's litter robot did. It is a cheap automatic litter robot option that people who are familiar with these kind of devices have probably heard the name litter robot before, so they felt that it was trustworthy.
In the review section, there was a photo of one covered in blood, stating that it had killed their cat. It wasn't under her name, but it had to be her machine. But after the TikTok videos were removed, that review no longer had the photo on it and was now positive. Then a few days later, the entire listing for the Amztoy was gone.
Another timeless classic from these evil companies. They put this product out there. When it becomes apparent to most consumers that it's a scam, or in this case, more than a scam, it is actually killing the intended user, they just vanish. They just disappear into a puff of smoke. Also, the review being changed, I haven't actually seen it to that level before. Like, it's very common for these scam companies to have paid reviews, like shills come in and review, or in certain cases, bots. When the review site doesn't have a lot of protections in place, you'll see a lot of bot reviews. But this one's really weird. Not only did they try and bury that review about the cat that was murdered by their product, they changed it to "good machine with cute ears." That's like the fakest sounding review ever. And in a case like this, that's like someone leaving a review for the Brazen Bull, like, "was boiled alive, but man did it look cool on the outside. 4 stars. These people are fucked up. It's not like they don't know what's going on here. They are clearly aware that their product is killing cats. And yet, what they're doing to fix that is hiding that and then just rebranding. Like, they just say, all right, we'll just try again in a week. That was so good, I think I'll try it a second time. What about second breakfast? Here we go, new brand, same machine. It'll probably kill a couple cats, and when that happens, we'll just do it all over again, rinse and repeat.
There are also a lot of very similar looking machines and different names at Amazon and Wayfair in the US, not just under the Amztoy name. After looking at the photos and videos of them, I saw a potential danger. So I had to buy one to see for myself. And they didn't actually send me the one I ordered, which was identical to the Amztoy version, minus the ears. But what I received was still the same fundamental design. It's one of the countless generic machines which are generally bought in bulk and branded by a random company. That's why you see so many identical ones online with different names.
Without the ears, this shit actually does just look like a minion. It looks like a minion that was trapped in a noir film. So as you can see, this machine is being used by a ton of different sellers under a ton of different names, ton of different brands. But it remains the same fundamentally terrible product that can kill a cat.
I immediately started testing it straight out the box, as shipped, and had my fears confirmed. I don't even know how I'm supposed to freak.
Yikes, that is horrible. Seeing the Garfield plushie get annihilated there like it was about to be turned into fucking lasagna paints a pretty clear picture of how these cats are being killed by it. So it is a single piece of plastic and only one opening that's mounted to the base, and it rotates upwards when it's doing its cleaning cycle. So if a cat peeks in, which is very normal behavior for cats apparently, like my cat does it, Io, anytime she uses the litter box, she like looks down there to make sure that it's not alive, because if it is, she'd go down there and swat the shit out of it 1,000 times, give it like the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, ora ora ora, well, just slapping the poop around. So it's not unusual, and it should be expected that a cat might look into the litter box once it finishes. And that shouldn't be a death sentence for the cat.
But this rotates on the y-axis, so as it cycles, the opening closes. Because that piece of plastic opening is attached to the base and not split in two, if a cat gets caught in it, then there's no escape. There's the weight sensors, an infrared sensor on the front entrance that will pause the machine if a cat gets close to it or enters it. The third safety measure is the pinch detector.
Now, this has sensors, but clearly they don't work very well. The sensors are supposed to be in place to prevent this kind of thing from happening, where if there's still a cat like around while it's doing the cleaning cycle, it should abort that mission. Like, it shouldn't continue the cleaning cycle because it could be dangerous to the cat.
Here, I'm pressing down, putting my weight on it, and covering the infrared sensor. Both indeed pause the cycling briefly. It should not resume like this. If a cat put its paws on the front and peered in, it should wait until those triggered sensors were cleared. Instead, it just pauses briefly and resumes, which is making both sensors redundant. Now the pinch detector should be getting a sense of resistance from here and reversing, but it doesn't. It carries on. God, that really hurts.
Dude almost just sacrificed his hand to the Amztoy bloodlord here. So clearly, these sensors are not effective. Now they did roll out an update on the app to fix the sensors, which did actually fix them, but I still argue that that's just not good enough. It is a terrible product even with functioning sensors. It is still a dog shit design that is inherently dangerous for cats. There is no reason why it should be rotating upwards and have a fucking fixed base that it's rotating against. Because technology breaks. No matter how much you fix something or roll out changes, there's always going to be malfunctions. And in the case of this putrid motherfucker, it's going to cost the cat its life. Other automatic litter boxes that I've seen don't rotate upwards often. Most of them rotate onto their side. But the ones that do also don't rotate against a fixed base, they rotate against something that can pop off. So even if a cat somehow does find itself stuck on one of the other machines that's going upwards, because they're in two pieces, the top pops off and the cat is alive and it gets to live to see another day. Here, that is not the case.
The inside rim of the plastic opening is actually quite sharp too, so that combined with the force and the 3 safety measures all failing to do their job made this machine incredibly dangerous. Once I had finished these initial tests, I connected it to the Tuya Smart app to see if there were any firmware updates, and yeah, there was one. So I installed it, and amazingly, the sensors started to work properly, including the pinch detector.
One Man 5 Cat mentions that there was no indication that there needed to be a firmware update. There was nothing in the manual that even talked about safety, really. So the vast majority of buyers of this product would have no idea that they need to download and update the firmware to have the sensors function properly. When you purchase something, you're expecting it to be in a working order. That's not going to just be some kind of fucking saw trap for your cat.
From my experience in my Facebook group, I know that many people don't bother with apps, which means if they have one of these, then they won't have the safer firmware. Are the sellers on Amazon, Wayfair, and AliExpress contacting people who've bought them to tell them that they must update the firmware? Well, if this was a single machine sold by a well-known brand, I'm sure they would. But with all these different random companies, it's doubtful. I just really hope that they are.
I am extremely confident that they're not. I would eat my fucking left shoe if it turns out any of these sellers bothered reaching any of the buyers to tell them to upgrade the firmware, to update it. Otherwise, their cat might die in it. I feel like most of the companies would be really weary of sending an email like that to the buyers because it might put them into legal hot water or something. They probably wouldn't even alert the buyers to those safety concerns in the first place, and they just sit there crossing their fingers hoping that their cat doesn't die because then it might be bad for their brand and they'll have to restart again under a different name, like they're doing countless times.
Then there's just how good are the sensors? How reliable are they? Sensors fail, especially cheap sensors, and looking at the build quality of this, I highly doubt the sensors are high quality. So if the sensors stop working, then you still have this incredibly dangerous design of the opening closing off with no way to escape.
It's something One Man 5 Cats also mentions here, and then also talks about how bad the build quality is and how it's just, even aside from being a death trap, a really awful automatic litter box. Now, he actually did get in contact with the initial poster of that TikTok video who lost her cat to one of these, and it's really interesting what we learn from her.
Amztoy had given a financial settlement to delete the videos and the Amazon review. As part of the settlement, Amztoy would remove the machine from sale. Her husband was unable to delete the Amazon review, so he changed it to a positive one.
So that solves the mystery of the deleted TikTok videos and the changed Amazon review. So they were financially compensated by this company that had led to the death of their cat to take down the videos and also get rid of the Amazon review. What a scummy organization. And apparently they had stopped the sale of that product Bah humbug, I know they're not. They're just selling it under a different name now. No doubt in my mind. One Man Five Cats goes on to say that he doesn't blame her for taking the settlement. He mentions he doesn't know how much it was, but she mentioned it wasn't a lot. The main reason she did it was to get the product to stop being sold on Amazon, but she just didn't know how widespread of an issue this is. This isn't just one company selling it. It's not just Amztoy. This is that product being sold by a ton of different other sellers, and I'm sure whoever's behind Amztoy is still selling it themselves, but under a different name. So ultimately, it didn't stop getting sold as a result of this, unfortunately.
Carly also told me about a lady called Trish who messaged her to say that her cat had also been killed by the Amztoy machine, and she put me in touch with her. Trish's kitten Charlie was 3 months old and over the minimum weight that the manual states a cat should be before turning on autocycling. On the 19th of July, Trish got a video call from her 13-year-old daughter frantically telling her that Charlie's neck was caught in the closed opening.
I'll go ahead and stop the story here. It is heartbreaking. It is awful. It's these goddamn vultures that are so hungry to just push out these scams, these really cheaply made products to try and make a quick buck off deceiving consumers into purchasing them by emulating popular brands, and people are just none the wiser. It's on Amazon, and most people have some level of faith in an Amazon product at least not going to kill someone, right? And these fucking vermin know that. So they put it on Amazon, they know it's dangerous and deadly, and do not care. Because they're trying to make some money on top of these kitten corpses.
Trish also shared with me a review on the now deleted Amztoy Amazon listing about a cat that had also gotten stuck in the opening, but the owner was able to rescue her in time. But it doesn't end there. There was another Facebook post in my Facebook group that shared this story about a 5-month-old kitten that was found suffocated in a waste drawer.
This one actually had the cat pass away in a different fashion. As opposed to being trapped between the opening and the base, this one got trapped under the scooper and suffocated in the litter. Now, the last sentence here is something very important to note. Perhaps warn your customers since it's the most affordable option I've seen for a litter robot. That's what makes these so popular and why they're being resold by so many brands, because they're manufactured super cheap and cheaper than all of the alternatives. So a lot of people have been purchasing them not knowing that it could kill their pets. And since companies like Amztoy just delete the listing or pay people off to delete negative reviews and take down videos talking about it, people don't even get the information to let them know that it could be dangerous, because they just get a fresh listing with the same machine and none of the reviews are there anymore.
I tried to contact Amztoy to get a statement, but their online presence is very minimal, and especially now that their Amazon listings are gone. I did find their YouTube channel, so I left a comment asking if they could get in touch with me. They didn't reply or email me. Instead, they deleted my comment. Deleting seems to be their way of dealing with things. I hope this video can help get all of them removed from sale everywhere and get to the people who already have them to warn them.
I wasn't surprised that they deleted that comment. I was actually more shocked that they had a YouTube account still up. Usually when a company, goes tits up and decides to sail off into the sunset before rebranding and selling the same shit, they make sure to scrub the entire online presence of their previous scam. Amztoy forgot one, clearly. So, overall, massive thanks to One Man Five Cats for talking about this, showcasing it, and warning people, because I imagine there's a lot of people that watched his video and may have actually had one in their home, and it probably saved their cat's life. Unironically, it probably saved that animal's life. Hopefully, the products can be removed from Amazon and every other seller that has them. It's a dangerous product. It's a scam product. So it should be very easy to just slap to the shadow realm, I would think. So yeah, great work by One Man Five Cats. And my heart breaks for anyone that lost their cat to this thing. Hopefully going forward, this product will just not exist anymore. That's really about it. Go check out One Man Five Cats channel if you do want to see good automatic litter box options that aren't deadly or dangerous. And yeah, that's really about it. So yeah.